You're wondering how to get a girl wet? Then you need to watch this video. Let's understand why this is important. When a woman gets wet, it means that her body is naturally responding to sexual desire and stimulation. During a state of woman's arousal, more blood to the area of her genitals, causing them to swell and lubricate the kitty, hence the expression of getting
wet.
It goes without saying that if you want to know how to get a girl wet, you're trying to make love to her, which will be pleasurable for the both of you. But perhaps nature's cruel joke is that what most girls like in bed and what gets them wet is often not the same as what most guys think about doing or even enjoy doing. When it comes to this, most guys focus too much on the genitalia. Need I say that again?
Most guys focus too much on the genitalia.
They firmly believe that touching a woman's genitals is the only way of getting her wet and aroused. Usually, the same guy always believe that a larger manhood is all that they will ever need to make their woman happy. However, this is often very misleading and untrue in many cases. Note, when a girl is physically aroused, she will often overlook her partner's inadequacies or mistakes. This naturally goes both ways. When a guy is turned on, he's often ready to overlook many aspects, sometimes too many. I think the popular saying goes, he often thinks with his Before we get down into this juicy topic, listen, I have to clear some things. I need to make you realize, especially those who are very conservative. They feel like, oh, someone who talks about sex must be an ash or must be very bad. Look, this is something that should be talked about. It is not something that you should shy away from. If you make out once a week, twice a week, it's someone who you are not legally married to. You are bad. You are even way worse than someone who talks about it. There is absolutely nothing wrong in talking about it. A lot of people are doing things wrong. The funny thing is that you play so holy that you miss out on so many things that you're doing wrong in your bedroom. People do not take out time to study the human anatomy, especially the private body parts. If you are going to have great love life, you need to study. But if you do not have time to study, there are people out there or out here who take out time to study to read, to educate you on the things you might be doing wrong. And if apparently you're doing things right, it is a plus for you. I needed to say that because what I'm about to say next, that the holy, holier than that, do not come here to make me feel angry, right? Because I'm doing this for people who do not really know these things. If you're enjoying my content, please give me a like, leave a comment down there below with an emoji that matches the best topic of this video. Let's get on with the video. Let's talk a little about building tension and how to turn a woman on by building it, maintaining it, and using it to your advantage to make the experience enjoyable and then go down on her. Because knowing how to get a girl wet is important if you want to get laid consistently. Most women become aroused by a combination of few things: your words, her contact, the tone of your voice. To figure out what works best for your partner, you first of all have to take notice of what she reacts positively to. You will then have to make use of your imagination along with a couple of tips which I will tell you now to make her wetter than she's ever been before. You see, when learning how to make a girl wet, you have to understand that all women are different individuals, but they have lots of similarities. Some women are more visual than others. Others rely on their imagination, while others listen to your words carefully and how you say them. And some become very turned on when you touch them in a certain manner. So it's all about finding out what makes specific girl aroused. There are many universal triggers that increases arousal and wetness, such as certain words that arouse a woman. That's why being aware of how your woman responds to your advances and escalations is very important for your success, because there is just no one way that works 100% on all women. Use words. The brain is often referred to as the biggest erogenous zone. Imagine your partner clothless, reading romantic novels, watching romantic movie, or remembering a hot romantic encounter can be as much of a turn on as being touched. When it comes to making someone wet, your words can be just as powerful as your hands. telling your partner what you would like to do to them, describing your favorite parts of their body, and even telling them how wet you want to make them can all be extremely arousing, especially if you're trying to get someone wet from a distance by phone, through texting, or online. Getting creative with your words is a great way to go. One kiss is more powerful than 1,000 words. If you get this right and get a positive response from her, be able to get even closer. Start off slow to gain her assurance and make every moment count. Focus on her and the shape of her lips. During longer kisses with tongue, break it up from time to time and breathe slowly and deeply. Being rough at this point, especially at the beginning, will score you 0 points. Even for girls who love a rough venture, who prefer taking it slow initially. Remember that being a great kisser is the key to getting her to bed. At this point, kissing has taken control of both of you. It is time to let your hands and fingers and other body parts take over and add to the stimulation and excitement. In this step, you're ready to explore and touch her erogenous zone. Don't go straight into her erogenous zone. Her neck, her face, her thighs. These are really great places to start stroking her, caressing her. Kissing gently on the neck has brought many women on their knees. It is a very sensual massage that most girls enjoy, and it is quite universal. Kissing the neck is a great prelude to touching the boobs. For most guys, it doesn't make much difference what the boobs look like, but girls can be quite sensitive and self-conscious in this area. Handling the boobs can be very rewarding experience for you and for her, so take your time. Running your finger gently along the skin of the boobs will bring desired effects. Boobs are very sensitive body parts, and fondling them the right way can inevitably lead to an escalation in the bedroom. Explore her most erogenous zones. When the stimulation gets heated, touching her most erogenous zones seems as natural progression. Begin by placing your hands near the area of the clit and the kitty. Stimulating a woman's clit and kitty with your finger is really a good way to really increase the intensity of your experience. If you are not experienced with oral, it might be a good investment of your time to learn more about it. This plays a major part in getting her wet and keeping the excitement alive. Unfortunately, this is also a very sensitive subject that not much people are willing to discuss about. The truth is that some women may not know what they really like. They themselves have not experienced it yet. Depends on the person and her individual experience. Having said that, you can be sure of one thing: most women enjoy this just as much as men, if not more, as they can reach multiple orgasms one after another. Most men are not capable of that. As you are playing with her entire body and kissing her and touching her and arousing her, make sure to tease her and to really play with that dynamic of build up and relaxation. This is magical. Every man and woman should know about this. Every time you spend some time rubbing and stroking and kissing and being passionate and building up arousal in her body, follow that up with at least few moments of slowness or even stillness, allowing her body to really integrate the pleasure and to soften into her excitement. When you're only building, you can overwhelm the body too quickly. But if you're playing and teasing between building and relaxing and building and relaxing, that's how the body gets to its most deepest depth of pleasure and orgasm bliss. After at least 30 minutes of this building and stroking, caressing her, you can ask her if she's ready for more. Your instincts and her reaction will indicate when she's completely ready for the final step. But as you sense that her private area is moist, then this is a good indication that she's ready to receive you. Most girls will not initiate the final step or rush into penetration. The final step is traditionally initiated by men. But of course, today this varies and depends on cultural upbringing and individual difference and desire. Making her wet is one thing. Making sure that she is satisfied afterwards is another. Tips to make every moment count. Exercise patience and think of her. After all, it is not you who needs to get wet. Start slow and observe and react to her responses. Focus on kissing. That is the best way to get started. If you don't intend on having children yet, make sure to use adequate protection. This may be uncomfortable, but it is a very important step. What if she can't get wet naturally? For some people, medical conditions, hormone treatments, or age can affect the ability of the kitty to get wet in response to the stimulation. Inability to get wet can sometimes come with the feeling of embarrassment or shame. If your partner struggles to get wet, approach the topic with sensitivity and patience. You can also be a good idea to encourage them to speak with a healthcare provider in case there is an underlying issue. And even for those whose kitty don't get wet on their own, lube can help to provide the pleasurable, slippery sensation of a super wet kitty. Premature penetration is actually a real problem. And no, I'm not talking about premature ejaculation. I'm talking about premature penetration, meaning penetrating the woman too early before she's ready and good to go. This is a real problem. A lot of women talks about uncomfortable or painful intercourse, and this is in most cases the reason. Because she's not ready yet. She's not juicy yet. She's not open and wet enough for you. Now that you have been educated on how to get a girl wet, you see that it doesn't have to get complicated. However, it is a process that is connected to emotions of another person, so it can be challenging. If there is one thing that you should remember, is this: it all begins with her liking you. The rest is easy. I hope I've been able to educate you on how to get a girl wet, and if you're loving this content, please give it a huge thumbs up and leave an emoji that best describes the topic of this video in my comment section. Till then, let's just in my comment section. Bye bye.